So the process all begins by setting up a SurveyMonkey account by going to SurveyMonkey.com and clicking sign up in the top right hand corner. So you can see that SurveyMonkey is pretty good about making it easy for you, and I'm going to walk you through the way I would do it. But before I do that, let me first mention that with the free version of SurveyMonkey, you can only create 10 question surveys, and you can only save one survey. So if you wanted to do multiple surveys that you would be able to save the data to forever, you will need to upgrade. And so I'm clicking plans and pricing up here so that you can see there's a set of business plans that SurveyMonkey offers, and there's also a set of personal plans, and it just depends on what you're interested in. But for now, let me show you how to set up one. I'm going to start from scratch, is what I always do. And then this is a test for Rex. Since you actually already sent me the questions, I can click that my questions are already written and copy and paste those questions over, which is really kind of nice. So I'm going to click that, and I always do one question at a time, but you can do classic, whatever you prefer. That's just the view that the user will have. So I'm going to go to that email and copy and paste those questions over. So I've copied the questions from that email you sent me. Now I'm going to paste them into this box, and then it gives you, based on what I've pasted, what it's going to look like. And you'll notice, because I don't have any spaces over in this box, that it took the first line as the question and then everything else is the answers, which I don't want. So what I am going to do is change it a little bit to make it look the way I want it to. And you'll notice when I hit enter over here in the preview, it turned that into a text box. Then you want their address, which would be a text box. So I'm going to enter down, and now you see that's the text box. Now we actually get into the questions themselves. Did you own a previous residence? I'm guessing your answers are probably going to be yes, no. Or maybe you want a third option of prefer not to answer. And then that question's done. Second question, how long were you in your previous residence before you moved to your current residence? For data purposes, you're probably going to want to give them choices like less than 1 year, 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, 10 plus years. And we can change those options as you see fit. And again, you can see how as I'm entering, I'm changing these into questions. Okay, so I've cleaned this up a little bit. I've added some options for them to answer wherever possible, because that helps with data. And then I can see my preview here, and I can see where every time I hit enter, it changed that into a new question. If I did not, if we look at this question here as an example, if you look to see, there are no enters, there are no spaces between these options, so they become answers. So you hit enter to create the new question. You don't hit enter for it to be an answer choice. So this method is really nice if you've already typed the questions out in an email or Microsoft Word or something. If you haven't typed it ahead of time and you're actually going to type it from scratch, the nice thing that SurveyMonkey does for you is as you type a question, they'll suggest answers. So like here, I made these up, but SurveyMonkey probably would have suggested them to me and filled it in for me if I agreed. So I'm going to add 9 questions, and once I've done that, I'm going to go through and preview it. I can add a page title here that would give me a description as to what this is about. I'm going to go through and see if this looks like how I want it to look. I am concerned about this one because these are bubbles, and I know this is a multiple or could be a multiple response question. So this one I'm going to edit, and instead of it being multiple choice, I'm going to do checkboxes. So now they'll be able to check as many as they would like, and if you wanted to add an other option, you could. And then hit save. Okay, so now your survey is complete. You can edit whether it says done or submit or finished if you would like to. And then if you'll notice up across here, this process kind of works you through the whole process, from starting to designing to previewing it, and then collecting responses is where you'll need to be for your worker who's going to make those phone calls. And when you click collect responses, you have several options. You can do it yourself, or you can get SurveyMonkey to do it for you. This sounds like you're going to do it yourself. So we're going to click here, and then you have all of these options. These are the ones that Grace uses, but you had mentioned that you're going to have someone making phone calls and entering the data themselves. So that person's going to need to click add data manually. And when she does that, he or she, I think you said she though, she would click add new response, and she would fill this out on the phone with them and click done. And then the next phone call, and the next phone call, and the next phone call. So that includes designing the survey, as well as collecting the responses, as well as signing up for the SurveyMonkey account. I'm going to make a separate video about analyzing and downloading and exporting the results, because I'm going to need to switch to the Grace account for that, because that's an account that already has results to be exported.